Hi friends, Kelly here. Welcome back to my channel. I have my flip top January junk journal thingy on my desk. Last place that I left off was this page here with Sir Renfield. If you have not had a chance to watch this video, I would recommend you go take a quick little look. But this is the last page I did, and since I filmed this video, I have made a few updates, so I thought I would just share with you where I'm at. I did go ahead and do journaling. I filled out a few of these little stickers. So here I just wrote a little note that says January 2024, bird and squirrel watching in the backyard with Lily, woodpeckers, cowbirds, blue jays, chickadees, and cardinals, lots of activity. So things like that, just some things that have recently happened this fall or winter. So I made just a few little notes in here on some of the stickers, and then I've left room for a few more things that I could come in and decorate with. The other thing I thought about doing is using some little letter stickers and putting somewhere in here Sir Renfield, so I don't forget. So that is this cute little booklet. I really do like how that turned out. So moving on, we are moving to the next page, which is watercolor paper. Didn't really plan that to be watercolor paper, like that I'm gonna watercolor it, although I might. And it was just paper I had on hand. So look at right here, you see this? Sunlight! Ah! We haven't seen the sun hardly at all this whole entire month. It's the end of January, and this is like the second or third day we've had sun this entire month. It's bonkers. So I'm not even going to apologize for the sun and shadows because I'm just so happy to actually see it. Okay, so what's my plan? Well, here's the thing. I've lost track of where Margaret is. Actually, I believe today's a Tuesday. Tomorrow, I think she did her final page yesterday, and tomorrow will be the 31st of January. I don't know when you guys are seeing this, but that's what it is currently when I'm filming. She's going to put some like dangles or jewels on her thing. I will not be doing that. I can already tell you that's just not my thing. But I would like to continue to work through this album, journal, whatever. Let's catch up. However, I have a plan to do that. I watched all of Margaret's videos, as I do, and I went back and I actually made notes because if you'll recall, what I talked about in this journal is that I'd like to take what she's doing and take elements from it and then kind of recreate my own version. So that is what I did. I went through and I just wrote down some notes for myself. So again, my favorite technique of just copy paper, fold in half. I still don't know why I like it that way. I just do. So I have 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I got some work ahead of me if I'm going to do this, but I'm determined and I really, truly have loved this so far. So number 5, I'm working on watercolor paper, and these are the elements. I did a little sketch that Margaret included in hers. If you're not sure of who I'm talking about or what I'm talking about, Margaret from 7 Plaza Creative is doing a flip top journal for January, and that is who I am kind of modeling this. I'm inspired by her. So I'm trying to think of which one this was. She did like a collage frame. So think like the Tim Holtz frames that you can purchase. She did something similar to that. She used The Days Gone by Junk Journal Studio, I think, yes. Some labels. It has a nature theme to it. She did a large fussy cut. She did a really interesting background. So I took those notes and then I transferred that to my own ideas. So my ideas for number 5, this page, is to do a watercolor background, to use rub-ons, to use transparency of some sort, and to create depth and texture. And how I'm going to do that is with like craft foam, like mounting things like that. So let me share with you how I am working through the rest of this, because that doesn't stop there. I continued, as you can see, I have notes all the way through. So I want to share with you a new storage unit I bought. So I'll pop a picture in for you when I start talking about it. But I want to show you how I've set myself up for potentially success. Let me grab something. Okay, so here's what I have on my desk. It looks like a big lunch tray or a tray from like a fast food restaurant. I'm going to throw a photo in here and show you this rolling cart storage project tray thingy. Whatever the name is of it. It escapes me right now, but this is this thing I bought. It's from We Are Memory Keepers. And I saw it by somebody else on Instagram who talked about it, and I thought, well, that's exactly what I've been talking about wanting. I mentioned a while back that I really wanted something that had like trays like this, and I was thinking, like I work in an elementary school, and the art teacher has like these drying racks, and I kept thinking, if I only had something like that with trays on it so I could have my projects and I could just move them in and out. I have it. I've just started using it, and this is what I've so far am loving it. This is what I've come up with. So here on this tray, I have the next several projects kind of laid out. So I have a plan, I have an idea, I have product, supplies, everything ready to go. So what you're seeing on this tray is actually 4 projects worth. So I'm not going to go through each and every one of them. I'm just going to move a few things aside. And the goal is that when I get to this project, I will remember why I pulled these things out. Okay. So let me just set some of this aside. I don't really have a good rhyme or reason to what's here, but I do have a plan here. Can't quite remember what these are for, but I'm sure it'll come back to me. I have multiple trays. I have a second one just right over here that I grabbed as well. But this is going to be this current project. So let me get everything else out of the way, and then I'll talk through my plan for this current project. Okay, so I have my watercolor, which I think I am going to try doing a little watercoloring on. It's just going to be super abstract, just going to be a background basically. A few other things that I pulled out are, so watercolor background, rub-ons. So I did recently pick up the eccentric rub-ons. So I was thinking I might use a little bit of that. So I have those. And I was thinking I would like to use some labels. So I pulled out some labels, and I don't really know if any of these are the right one that I will use. We'll see. But I do have these, so I can print more. I can grab the rest of the collection. But I wanted to remember to grab my labels from the Days Gone By collection. Love those. And then I got these cards here. These are all nature. And I thought that maybe I too would do something nature-y. So I thought this might be kind of fun. Now it looks like these are all birds, I think. Are they all birds? Yes, they're all birds. So birds, labels. I did grab these transparencies. These are from the Gratitude Documented kit, but I also have these ones here, this transparent things, Tim Holtz. So I have those. I don't know quite how that'll work out, but the collage frame. So I do want to do a collage frame. So here's my tiny little drawing, which you probably can't really see. Maybe I'll try to zoom in on this, but it might get real blurry. So I have an idea of creating a frame, having a transparency behind it, watercoloring the whole background, and then having one of these bird cards in the front. So I'm thinking I probably am going to end up doing the floral, just because the other ones I have in here are the moths, and then these ones are, it's like a city, ledger, a map, and the moon. I am never going to use that. I have no idea what I'll do with that moon. It's just not my style. I'll figure it out. So I think I'm going to ditch those because, but then I also thought, like, you know, little micro story, which I just talked about recently in a video. What if I pick a moth in the background and then the bird represents, or the moth represents like something the bird eats? Okay, that's just gross. Like, really, we're not going down that road. But I did go down that road because my brain thought that, yeah, that could be an interesting little side story. I don't know. Okay, so let's just ditch those and be done with that. Okay, so I have these flowers, so I think those will be pretty. Probably use the rub-ons. I've got some labels. I've got a card. So I think what I'm going to do is pick a bird, and that'll be my focal point. And then this collage thing, I think what I'm going to do is really just kind of mimic what Tim Holtz has the product you can buy where it's a collage card and then it's sewn. I think I'm going to do that. So having a focal point will help me narrow in on some colors. Truly, I think I'll just grab my scrap box. So, oh, this one's really pretty. I like this one a lot. Okay, here comes the sun to ruin everything. Just kidding, sun. We love you. We love you so much. This cute little whatever this is really jumping out at me. This is cute, but that looks a little too fairy tale-ish for me. The owls kind of scare me a little, freak me out a little. That's pretty. That's a little too colorful. Same. The hawks or falcons, again, a little too bird of prey kind of situation. These guys are just goofy. Although that one is pretty cool. I don't know what it is though. I think I'm just gonna go with this one. Oh, look at oh man, look at, there's a moth. Well, I think I have to use that one. I don't know what it is, but I like it. Okay. This is the page. It's something on here. Well, that just changes things, doesn't it? Let's grab the moths. Let's see here. It's what's funny is I'm wearing a t-shirt right now that has moths on it. It is funny to me. Okay, none of them really look like that. Gosh, I really think that's cool, but then do I want to incorporate the blue? I don't think I do. Okay, I'm gonna stick with the floral transparency in the background. I really just think that's what I want to do. Okay, let's get those set aside. Okay, so I'm going to do this bird. So I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm going to start getting set up so that I can do my watercoloring. Okay, I've got my bird cut out, and I've got some other stuff on my desk. I've got my watercolor markers, my scraps, and I just put this down, and I already just love that. The orange with the orange is beautiful. So I'm really excited about this. Okay, so I've got a collage to make, which shouldn't take very long. And it won't be real big, so that'll be an easy thing. I've got lots of scraps. And I have my watercolor markers. So, and I'm pretty confident this is almost, well, it's similar to the paper. So, I want to pull some of these colors out. And I think I'm going to do the chamomile, which the colors of these markers are kind of weird. They don't really make it easy to figure out what you're looking at here. Oh, here's chamomile. See, like, I would not think that's going to be chamomile, but it is. Okay, so chamomile, and I didn't think I'm going to go with any grays. I might come back to the browns. Not doing any blue. Green. This crocodile green could be really pretty, so I got to find that one. First try. Who knew? Okay, here's probably where I'm going to spend a lot of time, is in these colors. So I'm going to pull some of these out, and I don't think I'm going in the pinks. So pinks are out. It's going to be the yellow, orange, and brown. So let me pull out the rest of the colors that I want to use, and then I guess I'll fumble my way through some sort of mixed media watercoloring thing. I don't really know yet. Okay, I have my markers, so I'll set those aside. I think I probably need something to put this on. Let's see, do I have anything? I need scratch paper. Here we go. Got my paper. And I'm going to use a blender, or a water brush rather. I've got a couple of these on my desk, so they have water in them. Well, a couple of them do. And I'm just going to use my my stamp cleaning box thing. I don't really know what I'm doing here, so I guess I don't know. I'm winging it. I'm going to start with a very simple color. I'm going to start with this peach. Now, rather than me coloring on the paper, I think what I'm going to do is just put a little into my my thing here and drop some water into it. And I'm going to paint and see what happens. I have no real idea what I'm doing. Oh, I'm so nervous to do this. Maybe I need to have a little bit more of a plan. I think I need a plan. I think just abstract blobs of color is going to really disappoint me. But I do have a stencil. Could I do that? Could I do a little stenciling? Let's practice. Let's see what happens on the paper here. And in fact, now let me just try coloring in a flower. Let's see what happens here. Where's my water brush? I've lost everything. Okay, this one has water. What happens? Well, it just kind of softens it all. That's definitely not the route I want to go. Help! SOS! I have no idea what I'm doing. What am I doing here? What am I doing? I think I'm going to go back to my... Where's Peach? I have no idea what I'm doing. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to just do this for right now. Okay, and then I'm going to take the water brush, this big wide one, and I'm just going to do this. And I guess I'm mark making. Yeah, we're going to call it that. And see what we get when we do a bunch of these. That really kind of feels a little bit more like my wheelhouse, which is not saying much here. I think I need a cup of water. Okay, I am going to go ahead and do that a bunch more with all the colors. And I'm going to fast forward you guys because you don't need to see me do this in real time. And we'll see what we end up with. Okay, I am pretty much done here. I'm just filling in some of these white spots here. I am really happy with how this turned out. I did not see this coming together. I was really just kind of stumped by this white page in this blank background, but once I just started putting color down on the paper, it really felt like, I don't know, it was very, very relaxing. I really enjoyed this process. And once I started making some marks and getting some color in, it became a little bit more clear to me that I really just wanted to just keep going with the color. And I kind of at first was like, wow, it's almost like I'm making feathers or something. So I really enjoyed that. And now that I have this all in, I just want to go back in and add in a little bit more of this orange color. So I'm just going to add it in here and there, and then just touch it up with my brush pen. I really, really like this color, how it kind of pops in. I'm trying to think what other color I used that did that. I think it was really this one. No, it was this orange, this darker, what is this called? It is Orange Rust. I like that one a lot too. What's going on here? It's a marker. Yeah. So I'm gonna just add a tiny bit of that. And let's see, should I add a little bit more of the Orange Rust? Where I feel like it needs more there. I don't know. That might be it. That might be it. Yeah. When I was picking up the paper to like dry it off, I ended up splattering my shirt with watercolor, but I'm sure it'll come out. I hope. So these are watercolor markers, brush pens from Arteza, and I bought these like 2 years ago when I was doing this project where I was painting like a little, I wonder where I did with that. They're like these little jars, and I was trying to document just the colors of the sky and just practice and play with paint. And it was really fun. So, and now I have these tools, so I will use them. Okay, so the other thing I was doing is just flipping it over and just kind of getting all the excess water blotted off. Perfect. That is so pretty. I love it. I love it. Okay, let me get rid of my scrap paper here. Clean off my desk a bit. So I have no idea what I was just doing, but I enjoyed the process. Okay. So I'll definitely try to do that again. Ugh, my paintbrush thingy is not enjoying that. Okay, now, of course, is this going to be lost? Eh, pretty much. That's okay. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Next is a collage frame. So here's my thought. I could get something to make and cut out with a knife, a frame, which I'm really bad at, or I could cheat. And I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to grab some, it's not chipboard, but it's thicker. I'll be right back. So these are these thicker sheets. They're kind of like, they're not chipboard. They're just a thicker paper, I guess. I don't know. They come with the Canon matte photo paper. I'm trying to find my paper trimmer here. And I just keep them because they're really handy for, well, just to have on hand. So here's my thought. I'm gonna show you two different ways that I think you could accomplish this. Of course, one is to measure out your frame. So I'm gonna go with, I think I'm gonna go with a 4x6. So I'm gonna measure, well, I want the interior to be 4x6. So I want this to actually be 5 inches wide by 7. Let's start there. Wait, that's gonna be just about as big as the paper. That ain't gonna work. That's way too big. Okay, back to the original. 4x6. Let's get rid of that. And let's try this. So if I have, it's still way bigger than I want. So I'm gonna do a frame, and I'm gonna do this card. This is too big. So how about 4x5? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. 4x5 with whatever that is. That's kind of what I was thinking. I could even go a little smaller. Regardless, here's the way you can do this. You could do this, cut out your center with a knife, which I probably will do, or this is a cheat, totally a cheat. You take your paper, whatever you're going to use, and you cut 1-inch strips, because that's the thickness of the border I want, okay? So I'm just going to cut a few 1-inch strips. And let's see, I'll just for the ease of math, I'm going to make them all the same. Okay. Get rid of these. So now I have my 4-inch strips. Okay, so let's say I want the height of my frame to be 5 inches. So I'm going to cut this down to 5 inches. Okay. I'm just going to go with the height as being my 5 inches. Okay. So I have my 5 inches. See where I'm going with this? And let's say I want, okay, so 5 and I want it to be 4. So I need, well, 2. So let's cut this to 2 inches. I'm going to need 2 of those. Okay, rid of that, rid of that, rid of that. Scraps. Okay. So now I have 2 inches. So if you don't have a craft knife or you're terrified of craft knives, like I used to be, well, I probably wanted to make that a little wider actually. Because now that I see that, if I do a 1-inch, I'm going to have a pretty weird inside. You can trim that down more. But I think you get the point. Now, I would have my frame, and I don't have to worry about using a scary craft knife. I could collage each piece individually. That could be interesting. Or you can simply tape them together. You can use washi tape or Scotch tape, clear tape, whatever kind of tape you like. You can tape them together and then you can collage over it. It's just a simple way for you not have to worry about cutting a hole into your square, rectangle, whatever. So I'm going to go this route because I already have them, but they're far too wide. So I want to trim them down a bit. So I'm going to take a 1/4 of an inch off of each strip. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back. Okay, I have my little strippies and I'm going to ditch the 2-inch ones because that was making my frame way too narrow on the inside. It looked weird. So I'm going to make it, I changed it to 3 inches. I just think that'll look nicer. So now I have the construction essentially. So I'm just going to use some washi tape if I can find some. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular. Let me grab something here. Although you probably want it to be, I don't want it to be that wide. Let's see if I have something thinner. That's a little thinner. Okay. I don't need it to be quite as wide as the pieces here. So I'm just going to line them up. My cuts are probably not perfectly straight, but that is okay. I'm not going to worry about it because it's going in a junk journal. Nothing is perfectly straight. Although I think I did an okay job. Here, but I turn it this way. So this is my cheat for not having to cut my fingers off with a craft knife. Although I will say I'm far more, oops, I did that wrong. See what I did? I put it on the wrong side. I'm far more confident with my craft knife than I used to be. I used to be terrified of it, but knives scare me. I had an injury when I was a child where I cut the tip of a finger off. Gross, I know. It's still there. See, it's this one here. See, I got a scar. Like, not all the way off, just to the very edge. I know, gross. And so it wasn't on a knife, but knives nonetheless freak me out because they cut fingers, and I don't like that. So I don't mess around with them. I actually have a very nice sharp kitchen knife that I love and use, but I'm okay with that because I have better control over it. Okay, This is taking way too long. And then, so I'm going to get to this end here, and nothing really is straight or lined up, but guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to trim it off, because I have these wonderful things called scissors. Done. Okay, so now once it's collaged, and you've glued all this paper down, I'm not going to have to worry about it being floppy. Like, that's not going to be an issue because all of the paper that I collage over it is going to hold that in place. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You guys have seen collaging. This is not anything revolutionary here. This is not rocket science. So I'll just show you. Like, I'm going to take a little bit of paper and I'm going to collage it down. And then when I'm all said and done, I'm going to take my scissors and trim it out. So I will go ahead and create that. I'm also going to stick this in between some book pages for a little while, I think, to flatten it back out. Oh, I should definitely check this. So what I'm going to end up with is, help if I had fingernails. Let's see, does this have a right way? It kind of goes that way. So that is going to go there. There'll be something over it, which, again, it's a little bit lost now with that color on the background, but you can still see there's something there. This is going to be on top of here. Where's my little notes? I'm going to do something with a rub-on, I believe. And I wanted to do the days gone by. I wanted to use a label from there, which I kind of think I might just use this one. Or this one, because I'm too lazy to go hunt down the rest of them, and yeah, I already have that handy. Okay, so collaging. I think I'm gonna sew once I get this all cleaned up and trimmed. I think I am gonna run it through my sewing machine. So I am gonna go ahead and do all that. The other thing I'm gonna do, and I will do this on camera probably, is do some inking on this because it's far too crisp and clean. So, okay, next time I'm back, I will have a collaged frame. All right, I have my collaged frame. So again, you can see where I have my tape, but now it's definitely solid because of the paper. So I'm gonna do some trimming, and so that I don't have to use a knife, I'm gonna try to use my scissors. So my thought is to just clip it into the corners. And one thing you could do if you wanted to wrap this is you could overlap the whole thing, and then you could actually just fold it in. And I'll show you what I mean here. I'm not going to do this, but you could take, some of this is cardstock, so it's not going to work. But you see, you could just fold it in and go, actually, maybe I will. I kind of like that look. Let's see, did I bend this corner already? I did. And then just tape it down, which would give you a nice clean edge. And now I kind of want to do that. So I'm going to clip my corners here. Oh, you know what? It won't work because I went right to the edge on this piece. Okay, I'm going to clip mine off. But I think you get the point. You could do that if you overlapped the whole thing on either direction. But I did not, so I'm going to go ahead and just trim it, which is a bit awkward. So I'm going to take and use that idea to my advantage. Flip it up. In fact, what I could do is use my ruler to tear that. Some of this is definitely more tearable than the rest. But I don't really want to rip it. So part of the problem is that some of the paper is cardstock and some of it is copy paper. But let's try that. Let's see if that would work. Okay, so I'm just going to take my ruler, and I've kind of created a fold line. Just going to rip it along those lines. These littler pieces are a bit more fiddly. Ooh, yeah. Okay, I like how this is working. Again, I'm just trying to avoid using a knife, although I could get it out. I just don't want to. This piece and this piece. I need to putz with a little more. And I'm just going to trim this off. My scissors. See, here's the problem. I can't get a good angle on it. There we go. The other thing I'm going to do, because I don't care for a clean edge, is I'm going to use my paper destroyer to come along here. This is the most awkward thing I've ever done. There we go. Just got to find the right way to come in at it. So for me, coming in underneath it seems to be the trick. Pull it off, pull it off. Okay, I still have this one little piece. There we go. Okay. Well, I still have this little piece here. Okay. Fiddly, but done. And I didn't have to cut my fingers off. Cool. All right, now the outside will be much easier to do. Just go right along the edges, trim it off. I'm also going to ink it, and like I said, I want to do some sewing on it. I just want to sew around it. So I will get my sewing machine out and do that. But I am very comfortable with my tiny little sewing machine, so I use it all the time. I only use it really for paper. Occasionally I'll sew on fabric if necessary, but for the most part I'm doing sewing on paper. And it's the perfect little size. Okay, so I don't mind doing that. You could do hand stitching, you could draw it on, or you just don't have to do it. But there we go. I love it. Okay, paper destroyer. I think my tools on the other side is still not sure about this. It feels unnatural. So here's what I meant about coming in and roughing it up, destroying it a little anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I can see we're gonna have a problem, you and I. Let's glue that down. Okay, so I'm gonna do some inking and some sewing and some fine motor skills there. Sheesh. Okay, I want that to be dry before I try to send it through my sewing machine. Do I want to do that on the outside? I think I do. Probably gonna have to glue more. So when I was going and pulling out scraps for this, it didn't take long, as you can imagine, to collage a piece this size. It was pretty quick. But I did want to incorporate in some greens and this really pretty orangey, pinky, reddy terracotta. I don't know what color that really is, but I think it's going to be very, very pretty. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's do some inking. I'm going to go vintage photo. I have scorched timber, but I don't think I want it to go quite so dark. I'm also going to address this card. So this will get a little vintage photo. Oh yeah, I love that. That looks great. And then also on the inside. Not really worried about where it's going here. Okay. Now, this is just a little bit too white for me, so I'm going to do my little trick with my antique linen. Ugh. Okay, where is it? Got a new setup for my inks here. My favorites, but apparently I have too many favorites because they are overflowing. All right, antique linen. Or do I want to try old paper? No, going on. So I'm just gonna go over the whole thing with just a little bit of the antique linen. Yes, that is exactly what I wanted. I think the other thing I want to do is give it some splattering, but I'm going to use this guy. And I'm going to use, I'm going to do it right. I just want to do these ones here. I'm going to do that in tea dye. Oh, I have this I just got Lost Shadow. I'm super excited to use, but I think that's too gray tone for this, and that would defeat the whole purpose of what I'm trying to do here. I need a little brush. Let's go with this itty bitty weird thing. Ooh, yeah. Okay, I need a little bit more over here. I don't really want to have a big splatter on the bird, just a little bit here and there. Oh, I love that. Maybe a little bit more right here. Ooh, perfect. That's so cool. I like that a lot. Okay. Just get these out of the way. All right, let's see how we're looking. I need my page. Let's see. Oh. Well, it's flattened out a little bit more. I'm just curious if this is going to get covered up. But I kind of want to see what happens. Yep, you can't see it. Okay. Kind of thought that would happen. Definitely would have to be darker, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so we've got that guy. I'm gonna do that. I want it to kind of peek out a little. I have that. I was gonna do a label here, but now I think I'm still gonna do label. Okay, I need to do the sewing. And I also think I want to go around the whole edge of this. Yeah. And I still need my whole reinforcers, which, what are those going to be? I think what I'll do is I'll just grab a scrap out of my scrap box. Yeah, that looks good. Go up there. Perfect. Okay. I think what I have decided is that I'm not going to be doing the back sides of these pages, at least not for a while. Maybe I'll come back to that next January. I don't really know. Okay, I'm going to sew my, let's see, what do you have? White? Ugh, I don't really want white, but I have a solution for that. So let me get this sewn around and I'll address the white problem. Okay, I'm done sewing my frame. Let me get these out of the way. I love this little sewing machine. So I've shown it before, I've talked about it before, but this is how big it is. It's super tiny. It's the Genome Sew Mini. It is awesome. So that's my sewing machine. And here's what I did. I went around, oh, I didn't mean to do it at the same spots. It doesn't matter. I went around in a straight stitch. I have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to stitches, by the way. I don't really sew, so I have no idea what I'm talking about. But then I went in that zigzaggy thing around it again. So I'm going to leave some threads. And as I said, I'm going to have to address the fact that I have some white thread here now, and I don't really want it to be white. So where is my thing? I am going to take some, antique linen. Nope. Where is it? Antique linen. Hello. I'm going to take my dauber and I'm just going to go over it ever so slightly. Actually, I kind of want to do it in tea dye now that I started that. I'm going to try it in tea dye. I want it to be a little bit darker. Kind of want it to stand up. So it changed my mind. Sorry, I'm banging around like a lunatic here. Okay. Yeah. It's not super noticeable, but it is definitely not white anymore. So I'm just going to keep going around with that. Just touching the stitches is really all I'm trying to do. Get the threads. I kind of want to try it in a darker color just to see what would happen. Well, I mean, it will be darker. Logic says I know what will happen. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to try it in not an oxide. That's what I want to do. Tea stain. Where's my little dauber? It should be the one that looks the most, yeah, banged up. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to do it in a few spots. Oh, that looks cool there. And then I'll do the threads. I watched a video yesterday. I can't remember who it was. Something about paper. I'm going to have to go back and find that. But I watched a video about coffee dyeing paper and an easy way to do it. And doing a whole bunch at one time. And I thought I might have to give that a try. So if I do it, if I try it, I will let you know how it goes. I also have to think through how much coffee dyed paper will I ever use. I don't know if I would use a lot of it because I print a lot of digitals, and I thought, oh, I could put that through my printer, most likely. But a lot of the digitals I print already look like they're on vintage old paper, so I think the effect would be lost. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, frame is done. Let's see how this is looking. Oh, I love it. I love it. That was fun. I might have to make more of those. Okay, the flower will go there somewhere. Little birdie. So let's say that you were going to actually journal on this and you wanted to be able to put a journal card in. You could easily make this a pocket, side loading or top loading. Another cool thing I could do is I could adhere the transparency. Oh no, I kind of want to do that. You could do the same thing with like vellum. In fact, let me show you what that would look like, because I think I have a piece here somewhere. I have a printed, here we go. So, you could do the same thing. Oh, look at how pretty that is. Oh, I love that. Wow. And then you can make a pocket and you can put something behind it with like some book paper or something. I'm definitely going to have to do this again. So pretty. But I like this wild, feathery, abstract-y look I got going on. It's pretty cool. To finish my thought, I could secure this to the back of this, and that would leave some space to do a pocket. Could even do this with a piece of vellum, which I wonder if I have a piece here. Well, I had a piece of tracing paper handy. I don't know what I did. Oh, I know what I did with it. I printed on it. Okay. I think you get the point. There's a lot that could be done with this. But what I'm going to do is glue it down to here. Okay, so I'm going to put this, I kind of want it over the side, like that. Not an upside down bird. Bird's going to go there. And I think I want the bird to be up higher, because I did say I wanted dimension. Okay, so let's move this, and I'm going to put this glue here. I think it's safe to say that will be covered up. Let's see where this frame's going to go. Frame's going to go like right there. Okay, well, then the rest go a blob there and a blob there. And a prayer that it stays put. I think it will. I believe this will work. Let's see, like that. Yes. Okay. Well, this is going to get glued down too. I want to keep my tails all going this way. So I'm just going to put lots and lots of glue. Oops. Ooh, hello. All over it. should be plenty, I would think. I don't want to risk it. I don't want this. I don't want to come to my journal in a few weeks and it's all falling apart. No good. Okay. So I'm just gluing it down. I'm not making a pocket. I'm not doing any of those things on this. I'm just going to try to get it down on the paper. So press that. And then for the bird, I am going to lift it up. But before I do any more of that, I did want to get some rub-ons on here. And I think what I've decided is I'm going to do something down here. Okay, is that glued down? Relatively glued down. Is it? I think it is. I hope. I guess we'll find out. Okay. Where is the bird? The bird. Ooh, let's do a rub-on. I feel like this is kind of silly because I could do a stamp. Ugh. Maybe I should put a rub-on on the... I'll put one on the frame because that would make a whole lot more sense to use it. Because I could stamp on the rest of it, so what's the purpose? What is the point? But let's do something on here. How about... I have an idea for the big numbers. I'm excited about that. Oh, look at the light bulb! Oh, I love that. I just did that little bit there. Yeah, okay. Where are my little scissors? Let me make sure there's nothing else I don't want to use. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to cut out this little thing, whatever it is. Okay. It'll come with a stick or something. It has been a very, very long time since I used a rub-on. How am I doing with my glue here? Ooh, it's making me nervous. I'm gonna have to really glob it in there. I think the issue is I'm trying to glue a coated paper, which is like got a slick coating on it, and it don't like that. That's all right. I think that's not going nowhere. Uh-oh, almost lost the rub-on. Okay, the rub-on. So I'm guessing I want to get rid of the excess here. No need to use that. And then I think you pull it off of the backing. Oh yeah, this is all coming back to me. Oop. And I'll put it right there. Okay. And you just rub it on, right? Yep. When it goes kind of opaque, isn't that like the indicator that it's no longer on the film? Yeah, right. I'm gonna use this little stylus. I think I'll have better luck. Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. I get it. Yeah, it has been a long time since I used one of these. Oh, for cool. I see the appeal. Doesn't look like I'm getting this. Okay, let's see how that worked. Oh yeah, that's good. I can't get it off. My fingernails don't want to do this. Come on. Oh, cool. That's fun. Okay, I get it. I wonder how well that would go. Well, I don't want to do that. That makes no sense. Big blob of glue there. And big blob of glue there. I'm determined. This will not come off. Okay, so I've got a rub-on there. I also want to use a label. Let's grab the labels. I think I'm going to use this May one. As if this was like a page. Here's my micro stories. like a little catalog page or something out of a book about this bird. I don't know. Or a watercolor artist sketchbook. That of which I am not. Okay, dabber. I can't seem to get which one I want here. Too many things on my desk. Also, running out of light. How much I hate that. I'm determined to not turn on those lights. I can muddle my way through. Okay, that's gonna go there. That's gonna go there. Oh, I love it. Oh, wait, I want that up there. Yes. I still feel like I need something down here. Well, let's just do a rub-on because I got them. How about this M something something? That's a good one. Or, ooh, this is a good one. Why are these not stamps? I want this as a stamp right here. This is cool. Come on, why do we not? So, do you need to cut the excess off? I don't really know how this works. Presumably no. I have to do a little research. How do rub-ons work? Like, are you rubbing all of this clear stuff on or just the black part? I don't really know how that works. I'm curious. I'm going to put it there. And I'm going to use this again because that seemed to work real well. That must be how it works. It's just the black part, so you probably don't have to cut off a lot of excess. Yeah. Okay, I get it. I get it. I think once upon a time, my best friend and I tried to figure out how to make your own rub-ons with your like inkjet printer, or no, laser jet, or I don't remember what it was, but I think I remember you can do it. I just don't know how. Okay. Hole reinforcers, which I need my scrap box and my hole punches. I almost forgot to ink this card. There we go. I knew it was missing something. I thought it was missing a stamp, which it probably is. It could probably use something like right there, but I'm not going to do it. I am, however, going to make hole reinforcers. What am I going to use? Let's see what we have here. How about try it with this? Nah, I don't think I like that. No. No. Do I want to use something in the collage? I don't know. How about this green color? Yeah. Okay, so here's how I did this. I did the crocodile thingamajobber. Then I centered that. Ooh. No. Green. Oop. Yeah, definitely the green. And there. Very nice. Okay. Let's just get some stuff glued down, and I think then we're done. This was hopefully a quicker video. Took me longer to film, but I think it will be a quicker edit, and I'll be able to cut some of it out. Yay! I have been doing some videos where I'm just crafting and then doing voiceovers. I haven't done those in a long time, but sometimes that's necessary, especially if I am going to craft but not going to talk through it all. Oh, you know what I forgot to do is the dimension, which this kind of has a natural buildup, which I'm going to fix that. Because otherwise it'll sit weird. So I have a bag of foam, and I gotta admit, I don't think this glue is the best thing for craft foam because it kind of absorbs it. So I'm gonna go to something I haven't used in ages, which is my tape runner. I was just alerted to a water spill in the living room. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. So I want to put this here. And then, yes. So that will help build up the deficit that it has because of how high up the frame is. And I'm going to put another little tiny piece on the other side. Doesn't need to be that big. Again, I'm going to use my tape because I really don't think that the glue is a good fit for this. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. So that's going to go right there. And then my birdie, same thing. I'm going to layer it there. And then I'm going to put a piece under this corner. So this is just simple craft foam. I keep a little baggie of scraps because you really sometimes don't need much at all. It is a very great little tool. So we're going to go there, there, there. And I don't think I need any there. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue it down right there. Right there. Ooh, I'm not sure about this. On the acetate. I don't know how that's going to work. We're going to try it. Put it right in the corner. Oh yeah, that'll stick just fine. Now, what I'm noticing, which I don't think it's too big of a deal there, but this card it might be, this now is lower than the foam. So, I have a scrap here somewhere. Where did I put it? There we go. Just going to build it up with a little bit of this. Yeah. I don't even know if I need to do that. The way this page is bendy, I'm not going to worry about it. It'll be fine. But I do need to use my adhesive. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on just the, foam parts. Is it sticky? Yep. And let's see. I want it to go right there. Okay. All right, check it out. I think that's it. Where are my notes? Okay, so my notes, I wanted to include, and I'm not necessarily I was going to include everything I have for my idea, but let's see what how I did. Oh man, how'd you do? Well, wrecked it. Okay, we'll get that to glue down. Let's pretend it's dry. I wanted to watercolor the background. I think I can safely say I did that. Wanted to use rub-ons, did that. I wanted to use a transparency, acetate, I did that. And I wanted to create depth and texture, my stitching. Yay, me! I did it all. Okay, so there you go. That is project number 5. Where's the notebook, or journal rather. Let's see how it looks inside there. Ooh, this is my next project. Going to be some antique book page. Actually, it's technically, I think, considered a magazine. But that'll be fun to play with. So here we go. Rings. There. Oh, I love it. It's so cute. Little bird. I really, really like this. I like how it turned out with the watercoloring, and it was fun to play with. So there you have it. There's my last, not my last. This is definitely not my last. My newest project. I think it's time for me to call it a night. All right, friends, I will see you next time. Bye.